Super Lucky Disaster Man. Chapter 14, An Unfortunate Discovery. Ayatsuji Yukito guessed right, the sailor indeed has a problem. Moreover, he is not the only one with a problem, he also brings 10 locals to have problems with him. That's right, that pair of uncle and nephew. The uncle is a novelist, the nephew is injured and caught up with the holidays, since he just drew the ticket, so they decided to come here to play. The sailor said to his accomplice, as for that blonde, he said that he is a folklorist. He heard rumors about a legendary siren on the island, so came here to take a look, although he looks very skinny, but his body has a lot of muscles. It's just that, is it necessary to train the body to this kind of level for researching? The accomplice searched online for a bit, the corner of his mouth trembled and whispered, for the sake of thesis, folklore scholars now like to go to remote places, intending to find new topics. A certain folklore school has even put martial arts and the long robe into the all-exam category. Everyone. After a moment of awkward silence, one of them opened his mouth and said, "It seems to be very well founded." Found it. Another person said, the Baika Mall's winning registration is indeed called Komaeda Naruto, age 15, should be him. That Amuro Toru had actually arranged for a group of 2 through the travel agency 2 months ago, but don't know why didn't come, he delayed it until now. The time he had arranged, the disappearance had not had any news yet. The sailor was relieved, then they probably didn't come to investigate the disappearance case, right? I also looked at that child's wound, it's really not good. If they want to find a reason to go to the island, they don't need to go to the extent of adding these useless details. The 2 that has the tickets, let's follow the rules and best to leave them alone, to avoid being discovered by the police. That researcher is not that easy to provoke. The sailor immediately said, but he is very rich, I know his watch's brand, and his shirt is also not cheap. When registering I saw his wallet, there were many cards inside. If we can control him, make him transfer money over, we can even rest for a year. But now the police are alert, it's best we temporarily lie low. But folklorists, this kind of profession, according to the data, will often go to remote areas, missing for several months or even several years will not be suspected. This person is really suitable. While these people fiercely discussed whether or not to make a move on a certain researcher, the person concerned was also on the phone. Why are you calling me, Jin? Jin's cold voice rang out from the phone, newbie examination, you're dragging on for too long, Bourbon. Ha, don't tell me your paranoia has relapsed, I also have other things to do. Amuro Toru's tone was completely gone from the daytime when he was humorous and gentle, instead carrying a few parts of coldness and aggression. I'm already on Reigo Island, but the police is following him and that group for a case, maybe he'll just go in, even if he passes the examination, we still want to help him escape from prison. This isn't the thing you need to consider. Jin said, do the examination well, don't need to drag it out again, the organization probably hasn't arranged for you so many things, what are things you have to do before? Amuro Toru faked a smile and said, the organization gives me 3 months' time, if I am responsible, then as long as it does not exceed the deadline, when to start it is my freedom, your hand is too long, Jin. Jin is indifferent towards this implied threat, don't let me catch your weakness. Buzzed. The phone hung up. Amuro Toru withdrew the previous intentionally expressed dangerous aura, threw the phone on the bed, and lay down himself. What a nuisance. As a Japan policeman undercovering the organization, Amuro Toru in less than half a year ago handed over an important intelligence to Japan police, successfully prevented the organization from taking action once, but also made Jin suspicious, and recently did not give him any important tasks, even often investigated his whereabouts. This is really annoying. Right now Amuro Toru can only do side tasks like newcomer assessments, and waiting for Jin's side to finish investigating, clear his suspicions before he can return to the inner works. If Jin suspects his whereabouts from a while ago, after investigating further, he will discover that he was actually assisting at Vermouth's side. He knows that saying it outright can reduce Jin's suspicion, but he can't. On one hand, he has always maintained a mysterious personality, on the other hand he wants Jin to investigate it himself, so that in the future when he uses the same excuse, Jin will also think that it is the same situation as this time, and will not pursue too diligently. Just that. Can the police be a little faster? Amuro Toru really doesn't want to give the organization any new labor force, especially based on his investigation. The newcomer this time seems to be an ability user. This kind of person in the organization's hands really has multiple lethality. He can't do anything. Jin is staring at him, but maybe I can look forward to that, novelist. If Amuro Toru is really an ordinary person, he won't feel anything wrong with the conversation during the day, but because he is testing the other party, so he can feel the other party also testing him. This proves that the other party has a purpose to came to this island, probably the disappearance case. At first glance, he seems to be a smart person. Hopefully he can smoothly solve the case. Like that, the organization will not have an ability user in their ranks. Amuro Toru decided to say something suspicious tomorrow in front of the criminal group, then stroll around the island, attracting a little bit of their attention, leaving that most likely detective and assistant duo some space and time to investigate. The next day at breakfast, several guests all gathered in the only inn on this island for breakfast. Because Ayatsuji Yukito and Komaeda Naruto are a group tour tickets, so the first day there is also a tour guide to guide them. Ayatsuji Yukito did not refuse. After all, it's just for one day, refusal might cause suspicion. But actually Amuro Toru intentionally came here to ask the tour guide, where is the painting left by that missing person? I saw it on the news and felt that the scenery is not bad. Can you show me how to get there? Komaeda Naruto and Ayatsuji Yukito glanced at each other, immediately seized the opportunity. The scenery is not bad? I also want to see. If it was just Amuro Toru asking, the tour guide could still refuse, but the guest he is in charge of also asked. The tour guide could only laugh and say, then I will take you there. Several people followed the tour guide, heading towards the coast. Ayatsuji Yukito walked at Komaeda Naruto's side, feeling this wind was a bit stiff, not very comfortable when blowing on the person, so he instinctively looked at Komaeda Naruto's bandaged head. Although Ayatsuji Yukito had not said anything, but Komaeda Naruto still caught his gaze. Uncle is concerned about me? Komaeda Naruto casually asked, still maintaining the persona. The wound should be fine after 2 days. I will go to the hospital to check a bit after we return. Ha ha ha, if it is discovered that I have a brain tumor or something, then it will be interesting. Ayatsuji Yukito. He swallowed back everything he originally wanted to say, feeling that he should not have looked. What's so funny about a brain tumor? The way this child's think is really problematic. Actually speaking, Ayatsuji Yukito and Komaeda Naruto had not been together for a whole day, yet the level of mental fatigue has exceeded a year of accumulation. His speaking habits have even changed because of Komaeda Naruto. For example, last night, he received a phone call from the person who helped him take care of the cat. The other party hesitatingly said to him before hanging up, Ayatsuji, are you okay? You unexpectedly did not mock me today, it feels really out of habit. Ayatsuji Yukito. I also did not know you have this tendency. Oh, when you say it like this, it feels more normal. If there is nothing, then fine, I'll hang up, good night. Ayatsuji Yukito. Komaeda Naruto, this person, is poisonous to this kind of degree, forcefully making Ayatsuji Yukito change his past habit of liking to tease and mock. No other way, Komaeda Naruto either was because of his tone suddenly fell into depression, or had understood his intention, using an extremely exaggerated tone to express a, like me such a small existence is fundamentally not worth your attention, meaning. These two types of reactions, both brought great unease to the young Ayatsuji Yukito, so he had long since seen through that there was no need to pay attention to it, and when talking to Komaeda Naruto, he tried his best to say few words but mean much, not revealing too much of his own emotions, lest he be upset because of the other party's reaction. He regretted it. Ayatsuji Yukito felt that he should not have paid attention to this guy from the beginning. Ah, it's a monkey. Komaeda Naruto noticed the group of people watching the little animal on the tree. The tour guide introduced, "It will play pranks, but will not hurt people, very humane. Also please rest assured, if you bring food, you can show it to me, if there is no problem then you can try feeding it." During the tour guide's introduction, that monkey jumped from the tree to the ground, heading towards the back of the group and approached Komaeda Naruto. Murotoru laughed teasingly. Sure enough, is the little child most welcomed by animals? But the next second, that monkey moved quickly and snatched Komaeda Naruto's phone that was placed in the back of his pants, turned around and ran. Was slapped in the face in a blink of an eye. Murotoru. The tour guide embarrassedly said, prankster, they will be like that sometimes. I know their lair, I will think of a way to get back. Komaeda Naruto did not wait for the tour guide to finish speaking and chased after it. The tour guide saw the direction he's heading, and couldn't sit still. He just arrived and will probably get lost, I'll go find him, you guys stay here and don't move. The tour guide threw down these words and ran after them, leaving behind the ill-intentioned Murotoru and Ayatsuji Yukito, two faces looking at each other. Murotoru asked, "Isn't he your nephew? Aren't you worried about him?" Ayatsuji Yukito ignored this test, turned around and headed towards the direction the two people left. He just discovered, Komaeda Naruto did not plan to give chase from the beginning, seeming to feel that if the phone is lost then let it be lost, but he suddenly changed idea. According to his understanding of Komaeda Naruto, he thinks Komaeda Naruto probably has discovered something. That tour guide clearly also has problems. To prevent any accidents he still ran after them. Okay. Feeling not interested, Murotoru shrugged, I will also go. Komaeda Naruto's physical strength is not very good, but was still able to keep up, because this monkey did not directly run away, but ran a few steps, and waited for him. A moment later, Komaeda Naruto finally discovered his phone was placed on the ground. He walked over to pick up his phone, looked up towards the monkey on the tree, not too sure and thought. He did not see wrongly, on the neck it seems to have a human necklace hidden in the hair. Saying so, after the monkey snatched the phone, it turned its head to give him a look as if to tell him to catch up, it should not be his illusion. As expected of the world of ability users, the tour guide did not deceive him, this monkey is really humane. It's just that. Komaeda Naruto asked in a low voice, you brought me to this place because you want me to see what? The monkey on the tree chirped, but Komaeda Naruto did not understand the monkey language, and could only helplessly say, I am not like Tanaka-kun, an ultimate breeder, I'm really not good at interacting with animals. Is there something wrong with this place? Komaeda Naruto began to observe, especially the phone on that piece of ground. He half knelt there, his eyes could not see anything, and reached out to touch the soil. Suddenly, a somewhat gloomy voice appeared behind Komaeda Naruto. Guest, what are you doing here? Chapter 14 End. Author's note. Murotoru, Ayatsuji Yukito should have discovered something. Ayatsuji Yukito, Murotoru should be investigating. Not expected Komaeda, huh? I seem to have discovered something. Anyway, the original work did not explain the specific situation, it directly said that there are tens or so people involved in the crime, so I made up the rest myself. Simply put, one of them wanted to join the black organization in Konan. Murotoru is here to assess the newbie.